So this is going to be a short video on the finals. I've played it yesterday. I played it quite a bit with Mono and Tactigamer, and we had a hell of a lot of fun. It is a good game, but so far there are two major issues that I've found with the game. But I'll be creating the finals impression at the end of the beta, so I can play the game more and get more thoughts on it really. But the first major issue is lag, and this leads to a very floaty sort of feeling to the gameplay, and it pretty much feels like that everything you do is slightly delayed. That's movement, just even aiming, shooting, everything. Some people get this feeling, others don't, and during the match at certain points it can get worse, especially when you move around those floating platforms. It just makes this floaty, laggy feeling a lot worse. And I think I've pretty much nailed down the reason as to why this happens, and it's because of how I think the game handles the network traffic. Now, how I think most games handle the sort of network traffic, and now this description may not be completely correct, or even the terms I'm using may not be completely correct, but when you perform an action in a game, like moving, turning around, your system will send that information to the server to say, I've done this. The server will then pretty much verify it and confirm it, and then in the server to everyone else, you will perform that action. That's why that when you shoot, there can be a delay of when your bullet will actually fire or hit your target, because there's a delay with the server confirming what you've done. But to you, especially when you just move, it's all fine. It feels fine. But with the finals, how I think it handles it is that instead of your system telling the server that you've done something, instead what I think's happening is your system is saying to the server not that it's done something, but that it wants to do it, and the server then confirms it and then performs this action on your local system. So you're sending essentially a message to the server, can I move please? The server then confirms it, sends a message back to your system, and then says yes, which is why it feels like there's a delay or floatiness with everything you do in the game. Now, if you go into the practice range, you will not have this feeling at all, because your system isn't communicating with the server. It's all local and it's performing instantly. Now, the reason I was getting this issue and why many others may be getting this issue is down to region selection. By default, the region selection is just set to automatic. So you need to go into the options, and I think it's in gameplay, change that region to whatever region you're in. Now, the reason I've been getting it is I'm based in Europe, but I was playing with people based in North and South America, so we were connected to the American server. That's why I was getting a lot of this lag and delayed feeling. But after I finished playing with those guys, I went to the Europe server and it was perfect. There was no lag or floaty feeling at all. Now, of course, you would expect to get a bit of lag if you're playing on servers that aren't in your region, but with how the game is handling it, it makes it feel just floaty and bad. And you can see there are posts on the Steam forums and probably on the Reddit talking about this floaty feeling. But right now, with how the game works, I don't really want to play with people out of my region because it just doesn't feel good. And for a fast-paced game like this, you are at a massive disadvantage. And the second major issue for the game are randoms. The random people that will fill in your party if you haven't got a full group, or if you just play with a bunch of randoms. The first couple of games I played, I was playing with Mono, and then we had a random join in. And the random always just ran off by himself and put us at a massive disadvantage. Some randoms may not behave like this and actually stick with their team, but I think what the game needs to do to alleviate this issue is turn voice chat on by default. It's off currently by default. Turn that on so people may accidentally speak into their mic and speak to people on their team to actually communicate. If you are one of these random players that fill in a group, just stick with that group, because if you go off solo, you're just going to die. It's not going to be fun. You're going to have a bad time. Stick with your group, and then the game is really good. But like I said at the beginning of the video, I will be putting together a more final impressions at the end of the beta, so subscribe if you want to see that. This video may have been like a little rant, especially when it comes to the randoms, but those are just my initial thoughts on the game. It is fun. There are some other issues or concerns I have with the game, but those will come in a later video. So thank you guys for watching. Give this a like if you liked it, dislike if you didn't, subscribe for more, and I'll see you on the next one.